Excuse me, I'm wondering, what are percentages? I keep seeing them in these funny symbols all over the place, and I don't know what they mean, and I'm kind of shy about it. Oh, Mama Llama, that's such a great question. Thank you for being vulnerable. It's okay that you don't understand them. They're pretty confusing, and sometimes I get confused too. So let's talk about them. They show up everywhere. Why are they actually important? Why do we need to care about percentages? Let's talk about it. We'll also talk about what they actually are, what they mean, and how you can use and understand them to do all of the things like tipping and statistical analysis. Woo! Okay, so let's get into it. All right, so let's start with an example. Let's say I want to understand how the population of women has changed over the United States history. So I'm like, okay, I do some research, and I found out that in 1900 there were 37.2 million women. Let me double check. Yep, okay. And then in 1999, I found out that there are 139.5 million women. Holy stars. I'm like, what has happened? The population of women has exploded. There must be no more men or non binary folks left in the entire world because women have taken over. But wait, I am comparing two very different numbers because I am not looking at the percentage of the change in women over time. Percentages allow us to compare things like allow us to compare different quantities in a way that makes sense. We kind of are able to scale them so that we can understand what has actually changed over time. So as things are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, by looking at percentages, we can track the rate of change or lack thereof. So if I actually look at the percentage, what I will find is that the percentage of women in the 1900s is about 48.8, and in 1999 it was about 51.5%. So when I look at the percentage, I'm like, oh, phew, like not that much has changed. Maybe fewer women are dying of complications due to pregnancy, so the population has more or less evened out. If I notice that this percentage was way higher, like 70 or 80%, then I'd be like, what the heck has happened? Or if it were way lower, like 30% or 25%, I'd be like, ooh, also something really bad must have happened. But when I look at these percentages, I'm like, okay, that tracks. About half of the population. It hasn't changed much over time. So percentages are very, very, very useful to look at when we are comparing different numbers, especially if those numbers are different over time, over income bracket, or other types of qualities. Lots of different examples, and my brain can go all over the place. Let's keep it simple for now. Okay, so percentages, very useful for comparisons. Okay, so what does a percentage actually mean mathematically? Remember, math is just a language, so we just have to learn how to read it. So when we write a percentage, like 2%, that actually means that we are taking that number and dividing it by 100. So 2% means 2 divided by 100. We can also write this as a decimal, which would be 0.02. 3 different ways to write the same number. And to be honest, I think the percentage sign, I don't know this, so internet folks, check me if I'm wrong. I think the percentage sign, we just want to be lazy, right? So I think at some point we got tired of writing 2 out of 100 and we're like, I don't know, scrolly, you get the point. It's 2%, 2 out of 100. We want to be lazy. But all 3 of these ways of writing, I'm going to get some different colors to underline. 2%, 2 out of 100, and 0.02 mean the same thing. Mathematically speaking, these are all the same number. Pretty wild, right? So cool. Okay, let's do a couple of examples so that we can kind of get the hang of this. Well, what if we look at 1%? How would we write that as a fraction? Well, it would just be 1 out of 100, or 0.01. Ta-da! What if we do 22%? That would be, what do you think? What's the fraction? 22 divided by 100. Yeah, that's it. Easy peasy. Or 0. Ooh, what's this one? You got this. 2. Huzzah! Okay, one more. 53% is just 53 over 100, or it is also 0.53. Yay! So why do we have different ways of writing? Well, we want to be lazy. We want to actually understand how to do the calculation, or maybe we need the decimal point to be super accurate, or we're using a calculator, or maybe you just prefer decimal points. I have always preferred fractions if and when possible, unless I'm using a calculator, because it takes more time to write fractions on a calculator. But maybe you like decimals, and that's totally okay. I love that people are different. But there are different reasons and circumstances where you might prefer one notation over the other. So let's do an example of how to use percentages to quickly and uh, and cleverly calculate a tip. All right, so let's say I go out and get a delicious meal, and the bill for that meal is $57.17. And I want to leave a 20% tip. But I left my phone, and I want to use my mathematical prowess to calculate the tip all on my very own and impress all the people around me, mostly for myself. How can I do this? Well, personally, I like to break it down into bases of 10 because we have a base 10 numbering system, because we have 10 fingers. So counting and doing calculations with tens or powers of 10 like 100 or 1,000 make the calculations a lot simpler and they can be a lot faster. So I will show you how to do that. So to find 10% of 57.17, this means that we are going to multiply by the percentage of 10, which would be 10 over 100. Or, because I want to be lazy, it's just 1 over 10. We can, the zeros cancel out. So this would also just be 57.17 divided by 10. And when we do that, we get 5.717. Since we're talking about money, I'm going to drop the last 2 decimal points. So really, in reality, when we divide by 10, we can just move the decimal place over by 1. The power of 10. Huzzah! Okay, so now I want to get to 20%. Well, 20% is just 10% times 2. So I can take 5.7, multiply it by 2, and get 20%. Does that really work? Hecky, yes it does! Because math is a sneaky, crafty language, and once we understand what it means, we can manipulate it to our heart's content. We just gotta follow the rules. Okay, so 5.7 times 2 is 11.4. So if I want to leave a 20% tip for my handy dandy wait staff and the kitchen, then I would leave $11.40. This is what happens when I draw with my left hand. We're going to leave that there because I find it hilarious. Okay, so you can also check my math by dividing 57 point, or sorry, we'll do the whole percentage. The other way that you could do it, if you want to do this on a calculator, you could do 57.17 times 20 divided by 100. Or again, the zeros cancel out, so you could do 2 over 10. But that will give you the same thing. So if you're out and about and you want to leave a 30% tip, what do you think you could do? You can multiply by 3. Hey, look at that. If you want to leave a 15% tip, you can multiply by 1.5. At that point, you're kind of getting to the realm of a calculator again. That's why I like to operate in multiples of 10, because it allows me to do these calculations in my head and feel like a mathematical wizard as I go about my life. So now you know, and you can do the same thing. You can even practice at home when you're ordering takeout. And then when you go in person, you can impress all of your friends and be like, look, I learned the language of mathematics. Because we can all learn how to speak it. It just takes the right interpreter. Okay, cool. So that's percentages. And I think the last thing that I will leave you with is when you look at really large numbers, ask what the context of that number is. A thing that a current topic that is being talked about is, some people are talking about, oh, this person contributed like this large amount of money in their taxes at some year. But my question is, what was the percentage that they paid? Because often that percentage is lower than the percentage that I paid. And so, we can think about like if I make $100 to simplify and I pay $20 versus someone who makes $10,000 and pays $2,000, the 2,000 is more than my 20, but it's the same percentage. And so often, what happens is wealth gets taxed differently the more that you make because it becomes less about income and more about, um, stock holdings, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so my whole point is percentages can help us to put context in, can understand the context around these numbers because nothing exists in a vacuum. We always have to ask, okay, well, what is the context of this number that I am seeing? And how does that relate to the context of something that is familiar to me? So, percentages are really powerful and they can help us interpret the world and find patterns and trends over time, like the percentage of the population change in women that we looked at. I think that is really fascinating. Um, you can also use it to get new information. So let's say there's a farmer that has a bunch of land and they grow all these pears, and you have a little plot of land and you want to know, based on that farmer's data, how many pears could you expect to have? You can use percentages to be like, okay, well, my land is a certain percentage of their land, and so I can expect this percentage of their pears. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, so useful for tons and tons and tons of things. They allow us to solve problems and understand the world around us. And I love them. Clearly, I've waxed poetic for like 15 minutes about this stuff. Okay, I hope that that is helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions about percentages or other math, science, technology, engineering topics. I love talking about this stuff and I love y'all's questions and the dialogues that we have. So thank you very much for hanging out and learning with me, and I will see you next time, friends. Goodbye.